cameras are officially rolling on American Horror Story Delicate, and there have been a ton of updates regarding the 12th installment in recent weeks. Today I'm breaking down all the newly announced cast members, some character names, rumored episode titles, as well as some first looks at the season as they've been filming on the streets of New York City since April 23rd. But before we jump into all of the production news, I'm sure many of you are curious whether or not the current writers' strike will impact the production or the release of the season. Currently, members of the Writers Guild of America, which makes up pretty much every writer in American film and television, they're striking for better compensation. Writers are often underpaid and undercredited in the industry, and basically the Writers Guild proposed some fair guidelines regarding compensation in streaming and other more than reasonable demands that are on your screen currently. On the right, you'll see the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers counter-offers and many outright rejections of the WGA's proposals. So that's why they're striking, but nonetheless, many productions are continuing without any writers working in the United States. Let me just say that this is a terrible idea. Writers are an integral part of film and television at each step of the way, especially in television. And if you've been a fan of American Horror Story, you know that seasons of that show are often still being written as filming is happening. So I assume season 12 of American Horror Story is shooting the scripts that they have completed so far. Listen, this sucks for everybody, but don't blame the writers because the people they're fighting up against are the heads of giant media conglomerates like Disney and Universal. There's just no reason why we can't be paying writers on giant shows like this. So to put a long story short, productions including American Horror Story are currently moving forward just without any writers on set and no new material besides what was written before the strike began. Depending on how many scripts were written for American Horror Story before the strike, I imagine this will definitely impact production if the strike isn't resolved within the next few weeks. I hope the fair resolution comes soon, but if it doesn't, us American Horror Story fans have learned patience. We went through a pandemic. But let's now dive into everything we know about Season 12 of American Horror Story entitled Delicate. Let's first jump into all the casting news for Season 12. In my last news report, I told you that the season would be starring Emma Roberts, Matt Zuckery, and Kim Kardashian. I speculated that Emma would be playing the character of Anna Alcott, who is the main character from the yet-to-be-released book that this season is based on. If that's news to you, you should watch my last video. We now know that she will be playing a character named Anna, so I'm going to go ahead and call it as the same character, even if for some reason they changed the last name in the show. The book's synopsis described Anna as having an increasingly public life as an indie film star, and I think this character trait is carrying over into the season as well. While shooting some scenes in front of a crowd of fake paparazzi, Anna poses for photos while she's bombarded with questions about her films and her personal relationship with her husband. I also speculated last time that Matt Zuckery may have been cast in the role of Emma Roberts' husband, and now this is confirmed as the pair have been spotted filming many scenes together in the previous weeks. Alongside them for a few scenes is another newly added cast member, and that is this golden retriever whose name has not been revealed just yet. If you know me, I love a good dog in a horror movie and in any type of media, but I definitely have trust issues with horror films and American Horror Story in general with animal characters, but please, let's break the mold and let this dog make it out of the season unbothered and unscathed. Another cast member that has been announced to be in American Horror Story Delicate is Golden Globe winner Michaela J. Rodriguez. I've been asking for this since Pose ended, and let me tell you, if this alone hasn't restored your faith in the cast, then you clearly haven't seen Pose. MJ Rodriguez's character Blanca is the emotional core of Pose, and her performance on that show has given me the most chills and has made me cry legitimate tears more than any other performance has. I'm a huge fan of her, and this casting in the season has made me all the more excited. I really hope we see her playing someone a bit more sinister than the literal angel that is Blanca in Pose. Next, another cast member will be making their AHS debut in Delicate, and that is Cara Delevingne. This model-turned-actress has been spotted filming scenes around the city in a striking all-black costume with touches of red in the glasses, lipstick, and the shoes. The look, especially the hair, is giving me Bibi Babbit from American Horror Story Cult. Also with the Rosemary's Baby parallels we're already getting with the story, I think Cara might be our first glimpse into what forces are working against Anna and her pregnancy. Either that or she's a red herring, but nonetheless, I do think this costume is visually striking and there's a lot of fun directions that the costume department could go with this character as the season progresses, and I'm excited to see that. Annabelle Dexter-Jones, who you may know from Succession, is also hopping aboard this season in her American Horror Story debut. She has been spotted shooting scenes with Matt Zuckery. To me, the photos look like a wedding scenario, not necessarily between the two. I'm not sure why, maybe it's because the only photos that paparazzi got of the pair look like they're posing for a photo, but this scene feels like it'll just be a quick flashback, maybe delving a bit into the history of Matt's character, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next, Odessa Azion has reportedly joined the season's cast as well, and since her reported joining of the cast, MJ Rodriguez has posted basically confirmation in my eyes that she actually is in the cast. You may know her from last year's Hellraiser film, which I thought she was great in, so I am excited to see what characters she might bring to the season, but we have yet to see Odessa on set yet, so at this point it's a waiting game for any insight into her role. Now, for just about every season I've updated on now, we've got some leaked episode titles for the season. I believe the episodes have to be registered in some sort of database, whether it be through the Writers Guild or what have you, but they usually end up posted on the website Spoiler TV, which by no means is a trade or refutable source, but from previous years of experience with these episode titles, they always turn out to be true, so I'm gonna report this pretty confidently, but still take it with a grain of salt. For American Horror Story Delicate, so far we have 7 episode titles, and the titles are as follows. Episode 1 is rumored to be entitled Multiply Thy Pain. Episode 2 is Rockabye. Episode 3 is When the Bow Breaks. Episode 4 is Vanishing Twin. Episode 5 is Preach. Episode 6 is Opening Night. Episode 7 is entitled Ave Hestia. Let's take it one by one, and with the synopsis I laid out for you in my last video, let's make some educated guesses on what may be happening in these episodes. Episode 1, Multiply Thy Pain, seems to be referencing a Bible verse, Genesis 3:16, which states, "And he said to the woman, I will multiply your pains and your groans, and you will bear children in pain, and your turning will be to your husband, and he will rule over you." Now, I'm no Bible expert, but this verse's reference to childbearing and a husband having control over a wife are very much going hand in hand with the Rosemary's Baby parallels. Without spoiling too much, Rosemary's Baby is a story about a woman's body and her pregnancy being controlled by forces against her will. Alright, episodes 2 and 3 both reference the nursery rhyme Rockabye Baby, episode 3 being When the Bow Breaks, likely alludes to a dramatic complication in the pregnancy, which I think is especially clear with episode 4's title being Vanishing Twin. Vanishing Twin is likely referring to the real-life condition that can occur in pregnancy where one set of twin embryos dies in utero, so I think something like this will likely happen to Anna around episodes 3 and 4, where she's expecting twins, but something will happen that results in her being diagnosed with this vanishing twin syndrome. But of course, in American Horror Story, there's definitely going to be something much darker at play beyond the surface. Episode 5, Preach, spelled with 2 E's. This one stumped me for a while, but there has recently been a rumored character named Miss Preacher floating around the internet. Again, take it with a grain of salt for now. Episode 6, called Opening Night, and knowing Emma Roberts' character Anna is an independent actress on the rise, it's likely referring to one of her movies premiering. The last episode title we have available is Ave Hestia. Hestia is the Greek goddess of the hearth, the right ordering of domesticity, the family, the home, and the state. I'm not well versed in Greek mythology either, so this comes from some brief Wikipedia research, but the story of Hestia is that essentially her and her siblings were eaten by their father Cronus as infants because he was afraid one of them would overthrow him. Hestia, though, was freed when her younger brother Zeus forced Cronus rumors to basically spit the kids back out. If you have a wider knowledge of mythology, please elaborate on Hestia in the comments below. So we've definitely got some running themes with these episode titles, mostly pertaining to the pregnancies, motherhood, and men thinking they can control women and eat their babies. Next, we have some concrete evidence alluding to a third season of American Horror Stories coming very soon. But before we talk all the rumors and speculation regarding American Horror Story Season 3, I want to share one little channel update with you all. Last year, I made a video breaking down the decline of American Horror Stories ratings over the years, and it ended up doing really well for my channel. Ever since, I've been working on a part 2. This time I wanted to take a look at the Death of American Horror Story from the creative side of things, breaking down all the changes that have occurred from the show's casting and its writer's room. So about a month ago, I finally finished writing that follow-up, but it ended up being a bit of a massive video, so I've decided to release it in 2 parts. The first part will be coming out a week from today, and the final part will be coming out 2 weeks from today. In part 2, which comes out a week from today, we will take a look back at the golden age of American Horror Story, when it was all happiness and rainbows in the fandom. And then in part 3, in 2 weeks, we will discuss how the more recent seasons have contributed to a consistent decline in the show's quality and viewership. Anyway, if you think you'll like a long-form video about the history and evolution of American Horror Story, look out for my next 2 uploads, and I promise they'll both be coming out this month. I won't make you wait another year for part 3. So let's get into the news regarding that sometimes good, oftentimes dreadful American Horror Story spinoff. There have been rumors that the series would return for a 3rd iteration for a couple months now, but I have not been reporting it as fact just because it was coming from Spoiler TV mainly, and like I said, they're not refutable enough for me to trust them with a full series renewal. But recently, last week, Production Weekly confirmed that a 3rd season would be entering production in May. Production Weekly tracks all major productions in the country, and I trust them. They've never done me wrong in the past, but neither FX nor Hulu have announced the season just yet. But just like we got for season 12 and the seasons of the past, episode titles have already leaked online for the entirety of this 3rd season. Like I said, I trust Production Weekly, and these episode titles come from the same place as season 12's and the episode titles of seasons past, so it does look like season 3 is shaping up to happen, and I do have confidence that these rumors are legitimate. Episode 1 is rumored to be entitled Bestie, Episode 2, Daphne, Episode 3, Tapeworm, Episode 4, Oregon, Episode 5, Backrooms, Episode 6, The Thing Under the Bed, Episode 7, Howl, Episode 8, Clone, and Episode 9, Leprechaun. Personally, there are a few episodes that stand out to me, but I'm most interested in those final 5 episodes of the season, from Backrooms to Leprechaun. Those sound like really interesting titles that don't really sound like ground American Horror Story has covered just yet, and I'm actually excited to see how this season shapes up. Season 2 was definitely an upgrade from Season 1 in terms of writing, so assuming they've kept that growth up and they can secure some solid cast members, who knows, this could actually be good. Make sure you're subscribed, as I'll be updating you with news on both American Horror Story shows as it breaks this summer. So there's just about everything you could possibly know about American Horror Story Delicate and the 3rd iteration of American Horror Stories. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.